Hi, hello, you're here. This is Blu-ray Cinema Talk to our video today, and today's going to be the history of full moon horror / full moon video. So where do I start? Well, it's hard to say, but most people know full moon from Puppet Master, Castle Freak, all that stuff. You know, his major stuff. But did you know, early 1980s, VHS and stuff like that, there's a thing called Wizard Video and Empire and Vestron Video. All about Charles Band stuff. Full Moon Horror is by Charles Band, and he puts out stuff like Puppet. The first movie he put out for Full Moon was Puppet Master in 1989. Now that was supposed to be part of that was Empire Films as well. I'll get to that in a second because it goes hand in hand. So Charlie Band was doing Empire Films for about 4 years. From his 1985 or at least 84 to 1989. And he did great films like Troll, Ghoulies 2 was part of that, Terrorvision, Trancers, the original Trancers, Enemy Territory, Prison, Ghost Town, stuff like that. Here's what happened. He was making a couple movies a month or a year, you know, in a castle mansion they had. These Dolls and From Beyond were filmed in the same house, just different years, but it's a whole nother thing. So what happened was, in 1989, there were 3 or 4 films that were going to come out by Empire anyway. Who's going to put out, we don't know. So there's a couple here, and the ones that did come out later were Robot Jots, Spellcaster, Arena, and there's one more I can't think of it. So Charban said the art films he had that were, because they were losing money, and so Charban said, I'll take those and I'll put them under the Full Moon label or something, and I'll just take them. And the ones he took, they were supposed to come out in 1989 or a year previous, were Intruder, Cannibal Woman in the Avocado Jungle Death, Deadly Weapon, and there was one more. And Puppet Master was the last one. I believe so. I don't know. I have to look and see. So he took those and put them under the Paramount. Because when he started Full Moon Entertainment, Full Moon Video. Well, let's start with Full Moon Entertainment. 1989, Puppet Master started it all. Ended in 1994. And it was under Paramount. If you get the old VHS, it says Paramount on them. I went to Paramount, and that's where we started the Video Zone, the trailers, all that stuff. And he bought a lot of good stuff. A lot of sequels to a lot of his old Empire films and stuff. And he put out stuff like Oblivion, Shrunken Heads, not Castle Freak yet, Lurking Fear, Sea People, Shadow Zone, Puppet Master 1 through 5, Trancers 2 and 3, and 4 and 5, and Subspecies and other kinds of stuff, Doll Man, stuff like that. Okay, Demonic Toys, all that stuff. Now, at that time, he wanted to do kids' movies too, so he did a bunch of kids' films too under Paramount label, which lasted till '96, which was under Moonbeam Entertainment, And what we got was Remote, Dragon something, it'll come to me, Prehistoric, Pet Shop, Prehistoric 2, and a couple other things here and there. And supposedly, Josh Kirby Time Warrior, those 6 movies were under Paramount, but I don't remember seeing them on Paramount. I remember seeing those separately on DVDs under a different label, different company. But that's our story. So Paramount ended the contract in 95. Release ended in 94, early 95. So he started Full Moon Video / Full Moon Horror, or even still going the entertainment route before he switched to what is now, or is Full Moon Direct in 1995. And then the ones that kicked off that was Castle Freak on now still going on today. But yeah, but 20-something years ago, in 2000, between 1999 and 2002, he started losing money, and he had to do things not to lose money. And so he hired directors that kind of like did the job to his stories, but not good enough. So I think he ate money there, because you can tell a little bit. It's, like 99 to for about 4 years, the stories and the stuff is kind of lacking, and you can tell. But I've always liked Empire more than I like Full Moon. Full Moon, it depends what it is, because some of them, even how old I am now, don't hold up as much. Yeah, people are still going to love Puppet Master. People still going to see people. Some people are going to still love Dalman. Dalman is great, but the thing about it's great in the story. It's just not good, as I realize now, having a new perspective for the camera work, for the scene, for, the camera lens. Almost a director kind of, even though I never directed anything, point of view. I have that perspective on me now. Like a film buff perspective, in a way. In a movie fan perspective too. Because I love Charles Band stuff, I do. But some of it now I realize is not really great anymore. Because I matured, my taste has changed. But Dalman works up to a point, but then it loses itself in the execution. But if you want to see a movie that's 90% based in the quarry, go ahead. Feel free. As I said, everything's different, and it is. It always will be. Demonic Toys is great, because films it goes completely dark, where, there's a villain, there's a hero, there's a villain, or there's a story there where it's dark, but it knows where it's going. Those are still the Empire and Full Moon films that work. But Dalman, to me, right in my life now, does not work. Neither does their sequel, Dalman vs. Demonic Toys. Demonic Toys works on every level, and it shouldn't, but that movie does. Castle Freak works. Arcade works, because that's original story. Because that film goes, at one point, goes completely dark territory, and I like that. And I like David Allen, the Primevals, because it's stop motion animation, and always Dave Allen's stop motion animation in the Empire films and in the Full Moon films have always been great. Even though you don't like the film, you can always count on Dave Allen's puppets, his stop motion animation. He knew what to do with the Demonic Toys. He knew what to do with the puppets. He knew what to do with, Tim Thompson's Dalman. He knew how to do shit and get it done. The first three Puppet Masters work. LL3 is everybody's favorite. But after that, they just lose what is. Because every Puppet Master, they change the lore. They change the lore. They change the lore. I didn't realize it, but they changed the lore. And you keep changing it, you're going to lose your audience. And I think after a while, it just lost me. Subspecies, they're not bad films. Some are kind of good, and some kind of like, Sea People's okay. Shell Zone's okay. Netherworld's okay. They're not really that great. So Trancers is always going to be good. So that's Full Moon / Empire, but that's the Empire film, but I love that film. And the Pit and the Pendulum, Charles Band version I like too, because that's another one that, story goes dark, but it works out so well. So I don't have a lot of Full Moon films I used to have. But some of them there's stuff in it I still kind of like, but then the movie as a whole isn't good as a whole. And a lot of them, 90% of Full Moon films are not good as a whole. They're not. But stuff where it completely goes dark territory, or you have a hero and a villain, or a cop and a bad guy, but it makes sense. That's what I like. That's what works. And you can see that. Or see movie directors that Charles Band hired to direct his films that became big. Or bigger later on, or did all this makeup or stuff, and then did other films later on in the 80s and in the 90s. You'll see that. Excuse me. But that's about it for today. So what do you think about Full Moon Horror, or Full Moon Direct, or Empire before it was Full Moon, or when it became Full Moon? Please let me know in the comments below, and please like and subscribe if you want to see more on this channel. Because this is what I do, and this is what I love to do, and I love movies. And I'm glad you guys watch this channel, because you love film, you like to be knowledgeable about film, and you like to collect. Or start collecting. So on that, this is Blu-ray Cinema, and I'll see you on the next. Bye.